And so this is the trick, is to gain a top 1% financial education. The first step is you've got to realize reality is perception. Okay. There's no such thing as true, right? There's only degrees of more and more true and less true. And that's based on evidence. And evidence is based on what I can see and perceive. So if I can't perceive something, it's not going to be real to me, no matter how many times someone shares it to me. So when I started seeing this and I started seeing these little things, these little indicators, like, okay, these guys aren't doing the mutual funds. These guys, for some reason, they're not stressed out. These guys, they have different conversations about money when I meet with them. I started realizing they're different. What is it that they're doing? There's knowledge missing. This guy that I met with told me, when you're ready to learn the truth about money, I want you to come talk to me. He was saying, I will open the door for you and show you the knowledge you're missing, but you need to ask. Because if I tell you now, you're just gonna be like, oh, that's a scam. That doesn't work. And you're not ready yet, is what he was telling me. You're not ready yet. And when you're ready, I want you to come tell me. Okay. So when I became ready, here was the fundamental change. I had to be objectively detached from all of my knowledge. Like I didn't believe I believed anything as long as I could see it, especially with finances, because it's all math, right? And so when you're looking at how do I gain a top 1% financial education, you've got to have the mindset of, okay, like I'm not going to become emotionally attached to any information. I'm going to look at the math. I'm going to look at the realities around me and what I can perceive and what I can see and what I can look at and observe. And based on that, I'm going to decide what's true. Right? So let me give you a couple statistics. Okay. Right now, for the average American, 60% of them have less than $1,000 saved. Okay. The average rate of return over the last 20 years for a mutual fund investor is 3.88% per year. The average retirement account balance is $70,000. The average retiree will run out of retirement income within 10 years of retirement. Those are stats, right? And so when we look at those stats and then we look at, well, what are the things that lead up to those stats aren't working. Okay. And then we look at, okay, well, what are the other components? Well, the systems we're using, right? So what are some of the things we use? Well, we use the Roth IRA. Did you know the Roth IRA has only been around since 1997? Right? Think about that. We have not seen, let alone an entire generation, like it's as old as some of your kids, right? Like that's like, okay, I'm going to trust, my child with all of my money right now. From 1997. Okay. What's the other one we use? We use the 401k. The 401k has only been around since 1979. It's not even as old as my dad. We have not seen an entire generation of human beings successfully retire with a 401k plan. What about the traditional IRA? That one came out in the 70s. Did you know that it came out in the 70s? They actually revoked it. They got rid of it. And then they brought it back again in the 90s. So again, not even as old as my dad, and they took it away. So that proves they can take it away. They being the government, the IRS, the people that allow us to do these things. Right. And I'm not saying don't do any of this, but I'm saying like we're in a giant social experiment. So all of the knowledge out there that we have, put your money with Wall Street, do the 401k plan, get the free match, do the Roth IRA. It's all brand new. It's not even a generation old. Right? So we're relying on something that is highly speculative, and we're putting all of our eggs in that basket, and we've never actually seen a full generation successfully use this stuff. Right? Like the side effects, if you want to call them that, they're going to show up, in the next 30, 40 years, because now we've had people in the 80s that are actually ending retirement, and we're going to see, is the money there? Right? I tell people all the time with the retirement accounts, you've made nothing till you pull out more than you put in. Doesn't matter what your statement says. You can log in. It can say I made 30% last year. Yeah, but you put in 100,000 and you haven't pulled out more than that yet. That's invisible beans on a screen, right? It's just digits. That's in the possession of Wall Street. You don't even have custody of those assets. Those aren't yours. So until you pull out more than you put in, you have nothing, right? In 2008, like people lost, half their retirement portfolios right before they retired. I have clients where their parents and grandparents were about to retire and they couldn't. because this giant balance that they had on their account that they were riding on for the nest egg disappeared all of a sudden. Right? So track record is so incredibly important. And we're in this weird spot today where a lot of people, we look at track record and we just look at it as, okay, boomer, or it's antiquated or what. Like, track record means something has worked for a very long time. And if it has worked for a very long time, it didn't just stop. So if it didn't stop working, there's no reason to change it. If you're wondering, what does Wealth Dynamics do? How can we actually help you? Number one, if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom, grab one now. You can get that down in the comments in the video. You can get the link for that. Number two, we do a free course on Fridays on personal finance. Okay, you can also get the link for the description there too. And then finally, if you have a desire to start getting help walking through these different phases toward financial freedom, book a call with my team. Go to our website, set up a call. We're able to help out and answer questions. That's how we can help you. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.